For more on the worsening insecurity in the country, let's speak with a security expert, Kabir Adamu, who joins us live via Skype from Abuja. Mr. Adamu, this is not the first time we'll be having a conversation on the issue of security in Nigeria. What would be your assessment of developments in the last few weeks as to how the authorities are actually handling the situation?
Thank you, and yes, you're right. I'm beginning to sound like a broken record, but notwithstanding, security is a major challenge. It affects virtually everything we do, and so we need to speak about it especially when it's not going well. The good thing is, in July, we've just released our report. I run a consulting outfit, and we do produce reports, and the report shows that there was a near about 35% reduction in both fatalities and, to an extent, abductions across the country. And the principal reason for this is an increase in security force operations. What was remarkable is that the National Security Council met 3 times in the month of July, and I think that is unprecedented. So clearly, the government is taking security seriously, and the messaging we're hearing from almost all the heads of the various security agencies, about 27 of them, is a message of urgency, a message where they're urging everyone working under them to take this issue seriously, just like the Inspector General of Police did. That's the same thing that you're hearing from the Chief of Defense Staff, to an extent from the Office of the National Security Advisor and the several other security agencies. And the result is exactly what I said. We have seen a reduction in the number of fatalities, at least in the month of July. Now, whether that is sustainable or not would depend on a lot of factors. The security cost of force operations are very expensive. If we pick one, just the Air Force as an example, and you look at how much they spend on diesel or aviation fuel, and you now go back to how much their budget for diesel or aviation fuel was when it was passed and how much it is right now, then you understand what I mean, whether that will be sustainable or not. Perhaps in the course of the conversation, we can talk about sustainability.
Indeed, Mr. Adamu, you have referred to the fact that the Security Council met 3 different times in the month of July. And you also referred to the fact that there has been increase in security force operation. So would you say that if we had had this series of consultations and meetings earlier, we would have, would we have really gotten to this point where security is so bad in the country?
No, definitely not. We have been consistent in advocating to government to close up the ranks, especially between the federal and the state government. We have consistently advised that the way leadership sometimes speak in disconcerted manners is not helpful to our security situation. Governors are members of several security councils, even if they're not members of the National Security Council, they are members of the Police Council, as an example. And so bringing all of this leadership together and discussing the issues, agreeing as a group that this is the way forward. Because frankly, we are one country. This is not Nigeria and another country, disagreeing over issues. So when you hear, for instance, the Benue State governor speak, or you hear to an extent Katsina State governor, or even Ondo State governor, and their views are divergent, I ask myself as a citizen, why should we have leaders speaking in this divergent manner? Why wouldn't they have that discussion in a council meeting? So yes, if we had seen this at the beginning, perhaps it would have helped reduce where we are at the moment. And going forward, I'm hoping to see more of this, high-level meetings, not just at the Security Council, but I gave the example of the Police Council, there is the State Council, and several of these other, the Defense Council as an example, so that we can have a joint effort between our leadership. We elected them, we are following them. If they come out with a single statement, a lot of us would key around that statement. So we need that type of, I would say, leadership.
All right, and as it is, the IGP is calling for more intelligence gathering, and he's ordering more operations, stop and search, raids, and all of those. How much effect do you perceive these would have in helping the security situation?
I'm not of the view that certain operational issues should be discussed, in the media. So, as an example, I believe the statement by the Inspector General of Police was meant to serve a particular purpose. But in terms of the operational aspects of that directive, I'm hoping that there were more issues discussed. Intelligence is key. Without intelligence, it will be very difficult for you to achieve any concerted effort. So I'm hoping that the operationalization of that statement would follow key elements. As an example, a few years ago, under the Goodluck Jonathan administration, we collected a loan where we attempted to create smart cities. Abuja is one of them, Lagos is another of them. What happened to that project? If I remember, it's about $400,000 or 400 million rather US dollars. What happened to that project? I visited about 18 police posts across the country, and I know the hardware for that project is there. Now, when you speak of intelligence, it's not just verbal. Intelligence has to have elements that you can see on ground. So again, I'm hoping that beyond that statement, we would see real issues. I know, and I've heard from some police leadership, including AIGs, they are attempting to operationalize what the Inspector General of Police has directed them. But let's also remember that they also need to work with the other security agencies
Mr.
so
Adamu,
that at the end of the day...
I believe it's a great way to end the conversation. Security expert and CEO, Beacon Consulting Limited, Kabir Adamu, thank you for joining us on TVC News at 7.
Thank you for having me.